WNYwatercooler.com.
WNYwatercooler.com.
You're a clown, Steve. I'm tired of the clown show. Tired of it. You've got a playoff team. You got a team that's won 3 in a row, and you're miserable because you love being miserable because that's what you're about.
Yo. Hey, you fucking retard! I saw you miss a few fucking grinders yourself! So why don't you relegate your own off to the outfield, you lumpy piece of fucking shit! You're such a negative asshole, and you bring the whole fucking team down! It is an embarrassment being on a fucking team with you, you dumbass son of a fucking bitch!
Alright, go walk your dog.
I'm going to...
Here it is. The season's on the line. 2 receivers left and right. McCown takes the snap. He steps up. He's all by himself. Fires into the end zone. Caught! Touchdown!
No! Welcome back. WNYwatercooler.com podcast. We got a snowed-in Steve, and we got Coast on the line.
What's up, Jan, man?
Well, my left elbow doesn't work from shoveling for the last fucking 4 days.
Did you really only shovel? No snowblower, nothing? Just
No, it was in the shed. I never got it out because it was too muddy. I didn't want to get it muddy, and then I never got it out. Usually I count on my neighbors to fucking plow my ass out, but they told me to fuck off this time. I don't blame them. I don't blame them. Neither do I. Yeah. But I could lose respect for them, but fuck them.
So how many times did you have to go out there and shovel? For all our listeners, you got, 70-something inches of snow?
Yeah, I mean, every time I go out there, there's another foot. West Seneca is like, I don't know what's going on. It's truly like the apocalypse out there.
Well, luckily the football gods gave us a reprieve on Monday, like the only day of the past week where we didn't get a foot of snow.
Yeah, I was going to re-record the podcast. Yeah, it could have been only Monday or Tuesday. I mean, Sunday, yeah, okay, I was bitching a lot about, cancel the game, postpone the game. But yeah, I never saw a 3-foot. I didn't see any forecast that said 3 feet on Sunday afternoon, which is exactly what happened. But whatever, somehow the weather people are correct and I'm wrong. I guess I don't know.
Same thing that happened last year when they had to move the game. Yeah, your takes on the forecast were a little bit.
Sorry, I like to be positive because I have tickets to these fucking games and have to go. It's the only thing I have joy in my life.
They were never gonna move the game or not let fans. That that was never gonna happen. I mean, I guess moving the game probably was in play, but if the game was gonna be here, they were gonna let people go. So
I don't even want to get into the whole hypocrisy of the politicians and getting bent over by billionaires and Goodell. I didn't want to get into that, but so. The game, gets moved to Monday, 4:30. I mean, it was basically, it was sunny most of the day, but it was brisk out there. It was not warm.
It was perfect football weather. It was in the teens. I mean, it wasn't that windy. It was a little windy, but not bad. I mean, just if you're going to a Bills game in January, you'll take that.
Yeah, you definitely would take that all day. Except for, having to stand on like 4 inches of snow. And I'm in the first row of my section. So people were couldn't even walk up the stairs and stuff. I saw.
So I went and sat in your seats before I went to my seats. And people were sitting there because they went to the wrong section. So they cleared off your seats for us.
Oh, I love arguing with them. I get in fights with these people almost.
Well, and then I went to my seats, and people were sitting there too, and I'm like, they were in the wrong section, so they had to move. We booted them, but they had cleared off our seats for us, so it worked out. Yeah, it was huge. But the walkways to get down to the seats were absolutely treacherous. I'm surprised no one got concussed. biting
People
it.
probably did. They just don't even talk about it.
Yeah, it was like ice. So
then, of course, there wasn't that many Steelers fans in the crowd, was there? I mean, I thought maybe like 10%, not even.
Yeah, not even, maybe 10%. What's that?
Yeah, I mean, with the way the game got moved to Monday and shit, it was probably a little more difficult to travel, but
definitely not a lot of Steelers fans.
But of course, I had the most fucking annoying guy behind me. He's like 20. And he thinks he's like invincible, and the Steelers are amazing. I just like laugh at these people, like. But then, so we get up 21-0, and I kind of like started like I was like disinterested. I'm like, okay, this game's over. And then, what happened? We got the field goal blocked.
Yeah, it was it was 21-0, and we had that really nice play. Deontay Hardy got us right down into field goal range. We attempt the field goal, and it's blocked. And
how far? What was the distance of the field goal? It wasn't that long, was it?
Nah, it was in the 40s, 40 something. I don't remember what, but and then it gets blocked, and then of course blocked back all the way to our like 33-yard line. So then, and we lose our punter on the play. He pulls a hammy, and Pittsburgh recovers it and scores a touchdown on the short field to cut it 21-7. So I mean, the game. I don't want to say it was a blowout. I mean, it was kind of a blowout. But if that one play doesn't happen, it would have been 24.
It would have been 24-0.
Or if it's just not blocked, even if he just misses it, then they have to drive 60 something yards to score, not 30, and then you give them some life. And that was right at the end of the half, basically. And then we come out in the second half, we go 3 and out. And all of a sudden it was 21-10. And I think things got a little bit tense when it never really needed to be that way.
Well, yeah, Pittsburgh never had the ball down one score. I heard that. But yeah, so there was.
They scored to cut it.
We get down. We were up 21-0 with 2 minutes and 11 seconds left. It was a 49-yard field goal. I thought.
Okay.
First down on that. Yeah, we throw to Hardy. He gets 34 yards. First down, run up the middle for 3. Second down, incomplete. We threw it to Ty Johnson. Then 3rd and 7, incomplete, deep middle to Diggs.
Yeah, well, and that third down play was actually a really good play, a good throw, and the DB tipped it at the last second. It would have been a touchdown. So that was close.
So they get the ball. So at the 49, it gets blocked. They started our 33, like you said.
Yep.
Then they ran for 10, 2-minute warning. Yeah, and then they go down and score. And then we get the ball back, touchback, to Diggs for 5 yards, and then we got a first down, and then
I think we took a sack. We took a sack and then took it to the half, which I was fine with. But I mean, this is sort of what I've been talking about in a lot of these games is, I mean, it happened in the first KC game. We're up 14-0, and then we throw a pick at midfield. And in this game, it's 21-0. We're kicking a field goal. And these games are just so close to just being blown open completely. And then all of a sudden, we somehow just for a quarter, let these teams back in it and then end up having to be a little bit more stressed than we needed to be. But they cut it to 24-17, and we immediately went down and scored a touchdown and put it away. But all in all, it was, I think, a pretty convincing win.
Yeah, and then the next field goal we missed was
27 yards.
Yeah, 27 yards. What the fuck is that?
He missed it by 27 yards.
What is this guy's problem?
He's shot. Dude, the biggest concern I have on our entire team going forward is Bass. He has been
not
shaky.
The linebackers.
No, Bass has been shaky all season. Even the kicks he makes seem shaky. I have zero confidence in him, and it makes me a little nervous, especially if you're in a tight game going forward here. You need to make field goals. We just don't make field goals. We're allergic to field goals. We either score a touchdown or just don't score. we missed two against Pittsburgh. We missed two in that Philly game. I mean, I'm sure there's more, but I think Bass is having a bad year, and that miss on that 27-yarder was so bad that he is probably a little bit mentally shook right now.
How can he not be? I mean, and even wasn't the one it was just like a line drive, the 49-yarder that got blocked. It was, or maybe I'm just like mixing all his shitty ass field goals up. This guy is just, he can't kick field goals. I don't know what his problem is.
I just feel like a blocked field goal most of the time is the kicker's fault. Like you should, if you kick it too low, you just got to get the ball over the line. And I don't know. Unless some guy comes like flying off the edge and blocks it, but I feel like that doesn't usually happen. Usually it's a lineman that gets his hand on it. But we had a block kick from 34 yards or whatever against the Eagles. And that's definitely on the kicker.
Yeah, you can't have a 34-yarder blocked.
No.
So before that game, so the Chiefs beat the Dolphins. I mean, there's not even really much you can take out of that game. I mean, the Dolphins are that line. I mean, yeah, you don't want to have the spread too high, but come on, Dolphins are going to go and play in like literally sub-zero temperatures. I mean, they had the one lucky touchdown to Hill that was an underthrow, which okay, fine, they do that every time. But then after that, like nothing happened. It was just like
KC had 5 field goals in the game, I think. Or 6, maybe? I forget. They had a bunch of field goals. Maybe 4. At least 4. But, yeah, it's tough to take much out of that game. But I'm just looking at KC. Their full body of work this season. And they were 15th in the league in points per game. 21.8 points per game this season. They lost.
Well, luckily we have a podcast, so we can go over it. We can look at it here. Yeah, so Chiefs had... I was just saying a bunch of fumbles, but getting down to the kickers here, yeah, they had 4 field goals, and the longest field goal was 32 yards. So clearly, this offense in the red zone or inside the 30 is, like, I mean, at least against the Dolphins, it was atrocious. I mean, the Dolphins' defense is pretty good, but it's not like, I wouldn't say they're like top 5 unit or anything.
Yeah. Did you say the longest field goal was 32 yards?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they got down deep a bunch and just couldn't punch it in.
Yeah, so let's look them up. So they went up 7, and then
Miami tied it, right?
Yeah, it's punt, interception. No, it was 10-0.
Oh.
So they had a 28-yard field goal. Yeah, then it was 10-7, and then they kicked another field goal to make it 13. That was a 26-yarder. And then they made a 32-yarder. So, yeah, these were all, like, short field goals.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Bills, I don't know. I mean, I really don't feel that great about the game, to be honest with you. I mean, we could rip on the Chiefs for not being that good. The Bills, yeah, they've rattled off 6 wins. They played good opponents. I don't know. They seem like good play, awful play, awful. They like the Bills. Just I don't know. They like want to give us strokes or something.
Oh, that's absolutely for sure. Yeah, they do. They really do. But I mean, we won 6 in a row. Yeah, a couple of them were close that you wouldn't have wanted them to be close. But we've also, I mean, you look at our record against playoff teams, 5-1 during the regular season. KC didn't beat a playoff team except Miami. So, in Germany, it
was on like a lateral.
Yeah.
Interception lateral.
And Miami had like opportunities to win that game too. But they lost to the Raiders. They got run over by the Raiders. That was less than a month ago. That was on Christmas Eve or whatever. So, and then they beat the Bengals the next week to clinch the division. That was a close game at home against Browning.
Yeah, 25-17. Well, yeah, I mean, I was going to get to the reason this game's in Buffalo, more or less, is because
We beat them.
We beat them. Well, yeah, that is why. But also, it's because of that play where they throw it to Kelsey, and then Kelsey, oddly, insanely, really, that's pretty insane. To just turn around and flail it to a guy across the field who just coincidentally was offside. But I mean, there was still time left in the game. I mean, we've talked about it.
There was still time left. No one wants to acknowledge that. There was over a minute. We had
time there was a minute and a half, minute 28. We had plenty of time to come back. Although we would have needed a touchdown, right?
Yeah, but not like we haven't done that multiple times before in Kansas City. So, I mean, obviously that was a big call, but we've talked about it a million times. KC has been the benefactor of so many calls in bigger playoff games and Super Bowls. So,
well, yeah, and I definitely don't want to forget about Mahomes being such a pussy after the fucking game.
No.
Crying in the handshake line. Like, what is he, Texas basketball coach? I mean, give me a break.
That changed my opinion of Mahomes big time. How he reacted to that, especially given the fact that they have. And they've been so lucky on end of game calls so many times. And
I mean, think about it. Mahomes has been in the league for 6-7 years, and they've never played a road playoff game.
I don't think they've ever played a big road game, like anywhere close to this magnitude whatsoever. They never have. What's the biggest road game they've ever played? They've never had a big divisional road game because their division has been so bad.
They clinch by Thanksgiving pretty much always.
Exactly. And we've had to go on the road and win big games on the road in our division. I mean, we had to this year. We had to against New England in 21 on Christmas Eve. You know, the Chiefs they've never had, they beat Cincinnati, or lost to Cincinnati, I guess. Yeah, lost to Cincinnati in December, maybe a couple of years ago. I forget when, but that might be the only big, but even that game, I don't think it really mattered. Like, they had the 1 seed locked up already, basically. So, I don't know. It's just going to be the biggest road game of the Mahomes era.
Yeah, I mean, and then there's a few more things to that. I mean, we had a home division round game last year, and I mean, we completely shit our pants. So, I mean,
we did.
There's certain, last year there was a lot into it about how, player dies and he gets resurrected, like it's fucking Easter Sunday. And then we had all these travel things, and McDermott couldn't bring up 9/11 again, so he didn't have another speech unless he wanted to talk about Syria or fucking ISIS. I don't know, but he didn't have much to motivate him with, other than the resurrection of their 7th string DB, who we kept on the roster this year for I don't even know why. He's not even on the field if we don't have anybody, right? I mean,
he played snaps at safety Monday. A few at the end of the game. He probably had 3 or 4 snaps when Poyer had to go down.
We lost 7 players. Yeah. We lost 7 defensive players in the game.
Cam Lewis had to play. Yeah, basically Cam Lewis had to play slot. Poyer had to play linebacker, and that left Hamlin at safety. Oh man, yeah, we lost.
But back to the original point. So we had home field for the divisional round last year, and
we did.
I mean, the game wasn't really over until the mid-third quarter or late third quarter, although everyone thinks it was over.
It was over in the first quarter.
No, I didn't think so at all. I thought when it was the second drive of the third quarter, we came back. I thought the game was still within reach, but then...
Did you watch the first half?
I was at the game.
Yeah, me too. It was the most effortless I've seen a team move the ball against the Bills in my life.
Well...
That game,
either way,
never were in that game. But score wise, it was 17-10. It was 17-10 in the third quarter.
We had the ball.
You're right.
I think we had the ball.
No, we had the ball. We made it 17-10, and as soon as we made it 17-10, Cincy went down and scored. We made it 24-10. We never were in it.
I don't feel like looking it up.
But there was a lot. There was a lot. You're right. There was a lot that went into that game that makes it a lot different feel from my perspective than this week.
Well, Chiefs get an extra 2 days, which I don't know. And then people are talking about this hockey league ref. I mean, what's Mahomes winning? What's his record, anyways? I don't care who the referee is. I mean, I don't know, but people just
Mahomes' record. Yeah, Mahomes' record is going to be like really good with any ref.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much water that carries.
Yeah. So then, I mean, who's going to be playing for us? I think that Teron Johnson's going to play. I mean, he's in concussion protocol, second time this year, which is concerning. I mean, these guys, I mean, they do have another like 40 years after their career's over to be alive, but.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is his 5th concussion, and and if you saw him, it was like kind of Tua-esque, the way did you see a replay of his concussion?
No, I didn't see it, but I heard he was like upset that he got taken out, though. I thought.
I mean, he ran off the field fine. Like, he seemed fine, but he like got hit and then was like.
Did he have the fencing thing? Or?
Well, he didn't go like down, but he like couldn't walk. He didn't have the fencing thing, but he like couldn't walk. Kind of like when pretty much what happened when Milano hit Tua and they didn't even take him out of the game.
Remember he He was like he was stumbling backwards, like he like fell off his bar stool, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, but, exactly. So, but the other thing I heard about Johnson,
we've all been there.
Johnson, I'm pretty sure I heard this right, is that in like all of his concussion, like he's never missed a game with a concussion, but he's had 5 concussions, and they say, well, everyone handles concussions differently. So like
he's got fat brain skin.
Maybe. I don't know.
But that dude does the brain have skin? I guess it's not skin. I don't know what it is.
I couldn't tell you. But he looked good in practice. Douglas seems like he's going to play. That. Saw some videos, Douglas, he looked pretty good.
Yeah, so he'll be back. But
Dotson,
I think if I had to, which is shocking. I mean, he was carted off. When was he carted off in the game? It seemed because the game was disjointed. Yeah, but yeah.
There was a stretch in the second quarter where I feel like we had like an injury on like 6 plays in a row.
Yeah, I think I just went and got a beer. I'm like, what is happening? We're up 21-0 and everyone's dying. I'm just gonna go take a walk. I don't know.
Well, we lost Benford and Spector on the fumble that wasn't, and then we lost Bernard and Johnson.
So on that fumble by Freiermuth, they were saying like. They were saying that it nicked his helmet while he was on the ground out of bounds?
Exactly. But if you watch the replay, I feel like the refs butchered that call because they like all huddled up and decided to rule it that he was out of bounds. And that required us to use a challenge to review it when isn't a turnover reviewed automatically? So they just called it a fumble.
Yeah, I don't get why you wouldn't just call it a fumble. Not to mention the ball was freaking clearly out.
And it was clearly recovered by us. So they're claiming that they like saw this ball like nick Freiermuth's helmet, which on the replays I saw after the game, don't know.
Maybe
it wasn't conclusive at the very least. So they had to go with the call of the field, but we were out of challenges in the first quarter. So I just thought we got kind of hosed on that play.
The other thing, like some people, like Bill Simmons, some people are saying like we got a lot of calls. Like the Steelers got screwed because our guard blocked one of their DBs and he got a concussion or something. Like it didn't look that egregious to me. The one play, the guard coming to block him. I don't know. You're playing football.
What about Diggs getting body slammed and then
I didn't see a replay of that. I meant to look that up. He got on the touchdown by Shakir, right? He got completely like mugged.
On Shakir's touchdown, after Shakir was in the end zone, Miles Jack just came basically just like jumped on top of Diggs's back and tackled him at the goal line. And then there was another play where Diggs had a catch. It was down, and then the DB body slammed him, flipped him over. You probably might remember. Maybe you got to see a replay this one too, but it was totally unnecessary. So, yeah, the play. I did hear the thing you're talking about when Porter Jr. got hurt. There was nothing out of the ordinary that to me would the Porter Jr. was on our dude, and one of our linemen hit him.
Yeah, he was kind of just trying to knock him off him. It wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't a vicious hit. So, and then Pickens was bitching about a holding call or something, and it's dude, no. So, I don't know. Deontay Johnson was jawing with Elam the whole game too, getting in his grill, and Elam had that pick, which was truly a miracle. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened either. I mean, I watched that replay a few times, and he just turned instinctively and caught it. But if he had to think at all, I guarantee he would have dropped it or would deflected off him, and the dude would have caught it for a touchdown.
Yeah.
But
dude, I feel uncomfortable when Elam is out there. But he is an athlete, and he can make some of these plays that the other corners on our team cannot make. But
that's why I never understood who wasn't out there this year. I mean, but that's part of it. This guy who went to Florida, he didn't go to he's not Tre'Davious White, who went to Alabama State or whatever. Oh no, I take that. Okay, no, I take that back. I was thinking of Leotis McKelvin. No, I was thinking of McKelvin.
He went to Didn't McKelvin go to TCU?
Mm-mm.
Leotis McKelvin? I thought he went to TCU.
I hope I'm not wrong twice in 30 seconds here.
Yeah, that white take was rough. Even I know.
All right, LSU, Jesus, but he wasn't their best cover. He wasn't their best corner at the time, but.
I need you to look up where Leotis McKelvin went to college. Yeah, but I mean, it's telling that Elam couldn't get on the field over the 5 other guys that we had.
He went to Troy.
That's same thing. Troy, TCU.
No, it's not. Troy's a small school. So I knew he went to a small school.
Yeah,
what the hell are you talking about? Okay, so Elam went to Florida. He's played in the SEC, and then he's a first-round pick that we traded up for. I mean, people trade up for players and they're a bust, but still, he's got it. Like you said, he has the athleticism to be on the football field with other athletes. I mean, whether he can actually cover people is a different story, but he does have the athleticism to be out there. So how you can't get him on the field when you have these players that a plague is going through the team.
Yeah, he gets run over on a 3rd down. Then he commits an egregious pass interference. And then he turns around and makes a sick interception the next play. Basically, it was just
he was check raise. I don't know.
I love it. Defensive line played great against the run. Najee Harris was invisible. Warren had a few nice plays, but all in all, they were good. Pass rush, not so much. We didn't seem to really be trying to rush Rudolph. I mean, he made some plays on us, but it's also here's the thing too. If we had all these injuries, so the reason why, you could tell, it seemed like the middle of the second quarter till the end of the third quarter, we were just lost on defense because we had all backups out there. But
well, yeah,
as long as if we go into the game with the guys that we plan with all week, and even if they're back, if we had that same unit, but we knew they were going to be playing, it wouldn't have been as bad. You know what I'm saying? You're throwing all these guys.
As Bill's apologists, I agree with you. But I mean, praise to McDermott. I always said that he's a good. I mean, he coaches up a secondary great. He always has.
He's the best coach in the league.
How many awful defensive performances have we had against a lot of these losses. The Colts game a few years ago was horrible, but the losses we've had, it's it takes a miracle catch, or something, or just an end of the game thing.
Well, the defense has been good against bad teams. The whole tenure has been atrocious in the playoffs against Burrow and Mahomes. But that was with Frazier, and Frazier was calling the plays. And there is I mean, McDermott has just straight up been better, and he's more aggressive, and he.
Yeah, Frazier getting head coaching interviews. I mean, that's the same as like David Shaw. Like, who's getting these guys out of the woodwork to get head coaching interviews?
Imagine if you're a fan of a team, they hire Leslie Frazier as their head coach. I mean, that's like Dick Duran, except like maybe worse somehow.
I would call into the local radio station and like pretend to be a fan and just chew them up. Like when we hired Dick Duran, I bitched out WGR. Oh, I think I probably still have the call on like a tape, like a cassette tape, because I always recorded all of my calls. And I'm just like, this is a failure. We're going to suck. It's terrible. And Shope's like, come on, man. I mean, how do you know? You don't know anything. And I'm like, well, I think that this is what's going to happen.
I called GR. I called GR when we extended Duran, and I was despondent. I was like, I think I was crying. I might have been crying, like in tears. I called, and I was just like, "What? Why are we doing this?" I think it was like,
we heard the call when we were at Reagan's house when you called in. I remember that. Like,
I was just despondent.
Like, I got to go and give this guy a hug, but he's in Syracuse.
I think Shope said something like that. I don't know.
It'll be okay, boss. Because what did we start like 7-3 or something? And we had to extend them, like we're gonna lose them.
No, so 2008 we started 5-1, and I think we gave him an extension.
Okay, that's what it was, 5-1, yeah.
And then we finished. Well, Edwards played most of those games. And then remember I think we were 4-0, and then Edwards got concussed.
Edwards got hurt. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, Edwards got concussed against Arizona, and we lost by like 40. And then he came back and played that Chargers game where the power went out.
Yeah, where the power went out. Yeah, the electricity goes out of the stadium and we win. And then that was over Rivers, and we're like, oh, yeah, we're back. And then it was just, I don't think we won another game for 3 years.
I wrote a blog saying that I wouldn't trade him for Peyton Manning and that he was the MVP. And then, anyways, I think we went 6-10. And then we announced that after the season that we were bringing this guy back after 3 straight 7-9, 6-10 seasons, and of course he got fired midway through the 2009 season. So
yeah, it's like, I mean, we want to talk about the playoff game, but like the fucking Cowboys bringing back that fucking idiot. He's just a neck and a forehead. That guy.
Yeah,
whatever.
It's not going to work out. There's no way it's going to work out with Mike McCarthy. No way. But whatever.
Whatever. So, I mean, yeah, like the Chiefs. I'm just looking at their schedule again. Their last few. So they beat the Chargers by 1, and that was backup, so it doesn't matter. But they beat the Bengals again. That was a backup. They lost to the Raiders at home. That was a backup quarterback. They beat the Chiefs by 10. They lost at the Packers by 8.
Yeah.
They beat the Raiders, lost to the Eagles, and that was all at post-Germany trip. So this post-Germany, like these, come back from Europe, these Bills, I mean, they just do not fare well. I don't know.
So what are you have the schedule there. Let's hear their road games this season.
So on the road, regular season.
Since like November 1st. I don't care about
since November 1st. Okay, so after Germany. Because right before that, like October 29th, they had a road game at the Broncos, and they got smoked. They got smoked, 24-9. Then they went to Germany, beat them, sort of luckily. Then they went at the Raiders, which I guarantee that was half Chiefs fans. I mean, that's in Vegas.
Raiders were up early in that game, too.
But they beat them by 2 touchdowns. Then they went at Packers, and they lost by 8. Let's see what that box score is real quick here. It was at halftime. End of the second quarter, they were down by 8. So it stayed consistent. They're pretty much down the whole game. So they lost by 8 at the Packers. At the Patriots, I mean, we lost at the 10. Patriots, but they won by 10. And then their only other road game was at the Chargers, and that was all backups. So, I mean, they've played one good team on the road. I mean, the Raiders. Didn't we smoke the Packers?
The Packers.
The Packers are still playing. They're still playing.
I understand that they're still. I understand that they're still playing, but I understand. Yeah, they're. I guess. I mean, the Packers also gave up 30 points to. The Packers gave up 30 points to Carolina. It's just, but we played on the road at Miami, at Kansas City, at Philly. I mean, they had Philly at home.
At Cincy.
At Cincy with Burrow.
With
and
Burrow.
They played Cincy at home with Browning.
Yeah.
So like,
and they had one more road game than us this year, I think. But
the Patriots or the Chiefs, I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean anything, but they haven't played a big road game in the Mahomes era. So.
And Kelsey looks slow. I mean, our safeties, to be fair, also look slow. Rashee Rice he had a great game against the Dolphins. He looks pretty good. He's still a rookie with a stupid number. He looks like he's got a fucking punter's number. So I don't notice him out there. The running backs, both their running backs run hard. Snead pretty much buried Hill. Hill even admitted, he's like, you sent me to Cancun early, which,
that was
okay, well,
funny.
it's funny when you got $1 billion, Hill, and you get away with, every crime that you want to get away with, whatever, but, so they'll probably take away Diggs. If Snead is really he's a shutdown corner, I guess, now, I don't know. He's always been a pretty good player, but, so they'll shut down Diggs, I don't know, but if Davis is gone, that's who we would look to, so then it's a 86 game. You need him Dalton Kincaid to ball. You need Cook to contribute in the offense, in the passing game, I should say. And people are talking about, we didn't start this guy from LSU. Fournette. I don't know. I don't really care about that. Ty Johnson, to me, he's just as hard of a runner. He's younger, isn't he? He's kind of hurt, but.
I like Ty Johnson. There's a lot to unpack there. If you just break it down, better receiver, better receiving core, Bills, better running backs. Would you take Pacheco or James Cook?
Bush. Cook drops a fucking touchdown every fucking game.
Yeah, he didn't fumble last game though. Tight ends kind of interesting.
We didn't even have a turnover in that game.
Who do you like at tight end? The Knox Kincaid combo or old Kelsey? I think that's kind of tough.
No, they have 3 white tight ends that all look the same. No, I'm taking Kelsey. But Kelsey, he's getting. You have to hang out with this pop star, whatever she is. I thought she was a country star. I don't know what she is, but is she going to be there? I don't know. I love this. Hopefully she's sitting behind me because there's club seats right behind me. I'll chuck a snowball right at her. Not at her, but close to her.
Who has a better chance of making a big play in the game, like a 30-yard TD, or is it Kincaid or Kelsey?
Kelsey, you can't be this much of a fanboy. Come on, Kincaid's good, but Kelsey is still
I'm talking big.
He's had 8 playoff games. He's had 8 playoff games in a row with 100 yards or something.
I know, but dude, the Chiefs, their whole offense this season is dink and dunk. Kincaid is a big play threat, is he not?
And the other thing is, not that he's not that big of a. He gets 30 yards. What's his biggest play of his career? It's under 40 yards, probably. We only have a minute left in this podcast. So we were dithering a lot there, but. That's why I'm talking faster, but
you're rambling here. Get a prediction in. I think there's blowout potential in this game, and I'm gonna go as far to predict it. I think we're gonna win, and I think we're gonna win big. I think our offense is due for an explosion, and I think we're gonna hang 40 on the Chiefs. I'm gonna go 41-23 Bills.
Are you going to the game? 64 points. Holy shit.
Of course I'm going.
You were there last week. I will say walked 5 miles there and back somehow. Man, I think I have a lot more takes, but I'm afraid of 95. That guy might put Allen into the turf hard. All we need is Allen to fake slide and run for another 50 yards, which he ran that one into my end zone. That was I was impressed.
That was not a fake slide either.
No, I didn't think it was a fake slide. I didn't think it was a fake slide really, but some of them are, some of them aren't. But I've been burned by this squad. I'm saying a loss, 20-19.
Of all the scores.
Bills like Buffalo, I'm all about the bills like I don't tip, I pay bills. Bitches call me Buffalo.
If I could save time in a bottle.
All right, go walk your dog.
I'm going to.
Playoffs.
You kidding me?
Playoffs?
Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game. Another game.